I'm going to go ahead and call us to order at 5:04 p.m. I apologize. We do not have time for public comment. I just left a convention committee planning meeting, and I'm probably going right back into it once we're out.
So, Madam Chair, if you don't mind, I could just say out the roll of the attendees and someone can shout out if I miss them, if that's okay with you.
Sure.
So we do have Ms. McCardle, Mr. Watkins, Mr. Hagopian, Ms. Harlos, Mr. Malagon, Mr. Nikela, Ms. Yanuskavich, Mr. Dassing, Mr. Ford, Mr. Heyman, Mr. Hayes, Ms. Vest. Sitting in for Mr. Benner is Mr. Cowan, and we also have Mr. Hyman.
Pretty sure you meant Miss Hayes, not Mr.
I did. I was just thinking of Daniel Hayes from the story, so I apologize, Ms. Hayes.
Unless she's transitioned and we're all just unaware.
I will leave that to private matters.
Thank you for that. Okay, we have
Secretary. I didn't hear my name, but maybe I missed it.
Yes, Ms. Vest, I did have you down. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Vest. Your audio is breaking up a little bit. Okay, we've got one agenda item. And before we get into discussing it or arguing, I'm going to go ahead and pass the gavel to our Vice Chair, Mr. Watkins. I will.
All righty.
There you go.
Cool. So, excuse me. Our item of business is move to appoint an investigative committee comprising of Dave Benner, Adam Heyman, Andrew Watkins, and Kathy Yanuskavich to investigate in good faith whether the maintenance of the derivative proceeding is in the best interest of the corporation pursuant to the Code of District of Columbia, subsection, I guess is that symbol, 29-411.05, with such committee to report back and share their findings to the executive committee and council as soon as reasonably possible.
Second, Mr. Nikela.
All righty, we have a second.
Well,
Yep.
actually, you're the chair, Mr. Watkins. I think it's preferable, and there's a slight amendment to the motion if it's made by someone who is not chairing.
Okay.
So I would like to make that motion. If you would give me one moment, I need to approve Mr. Rufo's registration. He just texted me. So if you give me one moment.
All righty. And then I'd like to ask if somebody wants to keep time. I would like to limit each person. I would like to limit discussion to 2 minutes per person, if at all possible.
While we're doing that, Mr. Chair, if my hand's up to be the first in line for discussion, if that's all right.
Okay. I see the secretary's hand.
Okay.
First
Now I'm ready.
Okay.
Okay. Mr. Benner had indicated that he doesn't have the sufficient bandwidth. So I'd like to move a modified version of that motion, which is move to appoint an investigative committee comprising Adam Heyman, Andrew Watkins, and Kathy Yanuskavich to investigate in good faith whether the maintenance of the derivative proceeding is in the best interest of the corporation pursuant to the Code of the District of Columbia, Section 29-411.05, with such committee to report back and share their findings to the executive committee and council as soon as reasonably possible.
All righty.
So, Mr. Watkins,
I'm sorry.
can I respond to that? Martin Cowan, can I respond to that?
Yes, 1 second. Does Mr. Nikela, would you like to remove your second from the previous motion?
I don't remember ever seconding anything, so we can remove that. I'll pretend it never happened.
Okay. All right, Mr. Cowan, go ahead.
No, we need a second, Mr.
Somebody may have had a private conversation with David other than the private conversation I had. But a couple of days ago, he said he was perfectly willing to participate in the committee. But maybe somebody's talked to him since then.
Okay. Well, we have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All righty. Now, let's move on to
Yeah, to speak to my motion just briefly, I think it's self-apparent, but to answer Mr. Cowan's question, I spoke to Mr. Benner, who indicated that if we have statutorily sufficient people, which 3 is, he would rather not. So that's my motion.
Okay. Mr. Malion.
I'd like to call the question.
Alrighty, the question has been called. Is there objection to calling the question? Hearing none, let's move to a vote.
Okay, one moment. Mr.
Mr.
Cowan?
Chair, I'm giving my proxy to Mr. Dar for Region 7.
Alrighty, that is noted. Thank you.
And I do think I missed Mr. Dar in my roll call, so I'd like to just correct that on the record now. I did.
Mr. Alfstead joined as well, Madam Secretary. Just so
Who
you're aware.
else? I'm sorry?
Mr. Alfstead, the Region 4 alternate.
Okay, I will have that correct on the minutes. So on the vote, Mr. Cowan?
Mike Ruffo
Aye.
is also.
Yes, I have him.
Did you hear me say aye?
I did now, sir. Mr. Blankenship is not present. Mr. Dassing?
Yes.
Mr. Ford?
Aye.
Mr. Hagopian?
Yes.
Mr. Heyman? Mr. Heyman? I will come
Yes.
back. Okay, thank you. I will be voting yes. Ms. Hayes?
Yes.
Mr. Malagon?
Aye.
Did Mr. Nana or Mr. Hirsch come in and I not see? Okay, they are absent. Mr. Nikela?
Aye.
Mr. Rufo?
Yes.
I do not believe I see Mr. Tunevich or Mr. Redpath. Am I mistaken? Okay, they are absent. Mr. Dar?
I'll just abstain.
Thank you. Mr. Watkins? Oh, well, no, you're chairing. Hold on. I will move on one moment. Ms. Yanustavich?
Yes.
Okay, at this moment, because I believe Ms. McCardle you're abstaining, correct, Ms. McCardle, if I understood you?
Abstain.
Okay, so Mr. Chair, our vote is 11 yes, 0 no, 2 abstentions. Would you care to vote?
I'll abstain.
So it is 11-0-3.
Alrighty, motion passes.
Mr. Chair,
I will move to adjourn.
All right, motion to adjourn. Any seconds?
Martin Cowan.
Second.
Second.
I hear several seconds. Any objection? Hearing none, we're adjourned.
and I'll note the time as 5:13 Eastern time.